Okay, welcome back to another edition of the Xtra End podcast in partnership with Absolute Grass Care, and I'll be more about that later in the show. Right, more importantly now, we hope you've all been sticking to the all-important lockdown rules and you are all safe and well. Tough times at the moment, but let's just hang in there. And like I said in the last show, the good times will return. Welcome to my sidekick, Chris Wright. How are you? How was your week, mate?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Plod along with work from home. Bit boring. Got a puppy now, so toilet training him. He's shitting everywhere, which helps during the day. Keeps me busy. But yeah, all good, all good. Happy to be on the show again with these two pretty faces.
Yeah. So you see, Staff, he's well primed with his sponsorship behind him. It's looking good.
Yeah, Staff Sports Studio.
So as you can see, we have this week's studio guests ready and primed. Merthyr West End's Staff Davis and Xtra Vecken's Nicky Jones. Welcome, chaps. Ian, all good with you?
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I'm quite lucky. It's a busman's holiday for me. I could work from home anyway, so still doing a few mortgages and a few protections. So yeah, keeping the wolf from the door and trying to behave myself.
Good man.
And a few games of bowls in the house with the wife. She's beating me at the moment, 7-3 in the series at the living room.
Oh, nice.
Not bad.
Nicky, how about you, mate?
Yeah, same. Just I'm on furlough at the minute, so I'm just plodding through, trying to keep busy. A lot of FIFA going on. Same as probably everyone else who's got nothing better to do at the minute.
Got a little bit of FIFA. Okay, we'll be talking more with these gentlemen later on in the show. Basically, how to help clubs who may be struggling financially during these pandemic times, and I know their clubs at the moment they go to great lengths to try and boost their funds and use social media to promote their clubs and their local community. So we'll talk about that later in the show. So last week was the first show back after the break. I thought it went all right with the new Zoom setup. I think it was better than stuck in a garage, right, Ian, in a dungeon.
Yeah, definitely. Much better setup.
Yeah, and again, we received some decent feedback from people, so that's very kind of you. But we touched on the subjects, the most important subjects really were the National League and the point scoring format. Did you watch the show, guys, last week? What's your opinions?
I was watching it. I was all for it. I think Welsh Bowls at the minute they need a bit of a TLC, need a bit of a shake-up, need to sort of think about using this time to sort of develop and improve and sort of have a good look in the mirror and sort of be honest with what we are at the minute. And it's an organisation that's behind the rest of the UK really, and no better time to sort of think about improvements than now.
Yeah, I totally agree. How about you, Staff?
Yeah, it was a good show last week, and I think when we do restart, what we need possibly is a new start, some new ideas, freshen up a bit. Being a relatively new bowler, I find the sort of PG and the Parks leagues different. I find that a bit baffling, to be honest. They're coming from a rugby background.
Yeah.
So I think get everyone in together and see what happens, and make the game a bit more exciting and away to go.
Yeah, I think like I said to Chris earlier in the week, I've been kind of working on a little model of the National League structure. And the way I see it, and this is only my opinion, I'm not saying it should be this at all, but the way I see it, it should be a tiered system, because I seen some comments and it was, oh no, they won't travel. Well, if you're saying that, or clubs don't travel, I don't think you're seeing the bigger picture, because like I said, this system should be a tiered system, or a pyramid system, or a Christmas tree system, whatever you want to call it. And you have a top tier. Now, tier 1 would be your National League, your Premier League, yeah? Tier 2 would be the 2 national leagues feeding into the top one. So your tier 1 and your tier 2 structure are your national level structure. That's your national system. Yeah. So if you're playing in those leagues, you don't mind traveling all over Wales because you're playing the best bowls. Yeah. Underneath that level is called the regional system, I called it. And then you've got tier 3, 4, 5, 6, however low, obviously the lower the tiers go, the more regionalized it is. Yeah? So because it helps clubs. and basically, I think I don't think it's rocket science to work out, but I just think that I hope these people who are looking at, if they are looking at a National League system, don't be scared of how much work is involved, because there's not that much involved about working out the league structure.
No, I think on the back of that, even if you look at the littler clubs, playing at the really low levels of, say, the Cardiff and Municipal League, for example, Cardiff and Municipal League, it covers a large area of land, in Wales, and, clubs in the 5th, 6th division, they could be travelling for 50 minutes for a game on a Saturday, so nearly 2 hours round trip. Local clubs round by us, the really small clubs like Barry, Central, etc., they travel all the way up to Pontypridd and Merthyr for a game, to play to Cyfarthfa Castle and teams like that. So, if anything, these clubs will actually benefit, through the region system.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I advocate this, and I'll help anyone with it. But I showed you that league system, Chris, and it worked, doesn't it?
I think at the end of the day, actually executing the changes won't be a problem. There's enough people here to want to help, improve Welsh bowls and implement ideas that are on the table. But it's getting those changes, agreed, which ultimately is long overdue. I've been speaking with a few of you guys and all that. We've brought more to the table in terms of ideas of sexing up our game in 30 days. Then probably, WBA have made changes in the last 30 years, and I don't know if you've had a chance to look at it, Mark, Wingy, but, me, Nicky and Ian have all seen it, but, the question and answer session with the Scottish Bowl CEO this week on YouTube, it's really enlightening, because just how miles away they are from Wales in terms of their bowl setup.
Yeah, I think at the moment you got to look up to Bowl Scotland, Bowl England, and say we'll get there sometime in the next decade.
Yeah,
because they're light years ahead of us. I think we just got to, little fish are sweet at the time, and we just got to try and get our infrastructure right first. Personally, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Anyway,
definitely.
And the other one was the point scoring revamp, and I think that was a positive feedback from for most people. And I think the way forward for that is bringing in a bonus point system to help the clubs or the teams who are losing in a certain game and what they can salvage out of a game. That makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing worse than losing 12-2 by one shot. Only picking up 2 points, in a really close game. Bonus point for losing by so many shots would certainly help.
Yeah, that's right, mate. That's right. Okay, right. Now then, we are delighted to announce a new partnership with Absolute Grass Care. They're a local sports turf maintenance company, and they already maintain a number of clubs around Wales. And thanks to their help, we're now able to build a podcast website, which is hoped to include a forum for people to get involved with the show. Chris, that's exciting times, yeah?
Yeah. Delighted to have our, first major sponsor on board, our actual major sponsor. They've done a lot of work turning greens round in Wales. I know they do, the state that the Lantris and Green was in previously. They seem to improve that a lot. I know they carry out Lambraddock, which is always a good green. I believe they do Beaufords as well, and they consult a lot of clubs as well with their greens, like Thomastown, which we seen on last week's episode. They've helped them turn around their green. So, really exciting to have them on board, and hopefully we can prove to be a fruitful relationship going forward.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, well said. Now, like you said, now this is Cardiff Bowling Club, which is one of their greens they maintain, and this is following on. Improved as well. This is following on from last week. Send your green shots in, so quite a few of them did. Anyway, this is Cardiff Bowling Club. Now, what I will say about this is 2 years ago I played on there, and it was horrific. It was terrible. Not the Cardiff Bowling Club I knew. Last year it was at the start of the season. We had a Charlie Triples Day. You could see automatically it wasn't great, but it was much better to play on, than the hands were coming. Now seeing that this year, it's a much improved again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Another one, Lambraddock, another one, a green that was struggling in the past. He seems to have turned that round. What we got? That's the Merch Bowling Club. They are. There's your ex-club there, Chrissy. Dennis Powers.
Yeah. Brilliant. Nah, to be fair, I played on Dennis Powis, I think 2 years ago in the Crowther Shield. I think it was like last 16, and I think they had just started the contract then, and the green wasn't in a good way. But they have turned that around, and it does look brilliant. It's a shame seeing all these greens looking great while we can't bowl on them.
Well, that's very true. That's very true. That's Panteg House, and that's the mighty Kidwelly town. So,
fair play.
Anyway,
that's lovely.
With thanks to, like I said, to Absolute Grass Care, visit their website, and I'm sure I've got numbers I can put at the end of the show if you ever want to have a quote or get involved and have a talk to Mark or Christian. They're good guys.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Where are we at now, then, mates? Now let's move on to our studio guests. I think now these are tough times for certain clubs. Some may be okay through it because they've had finances before in the past, but there may be a lot of clubs who are struggling. So me and Chris thought about this week's podcast, and we wanted to get these two guys on because they're very good, for what I can see, on Twitter and social media, promoting their club, and to see some of the pictures that's coming through, which we'll show later, is fantastic. So, Staff, if I can start with you in Merthyr West End. Now, I know you host the best singles tournament in Wales, and its success is growing every year. But really, it is off the green that you're seeing new ideas and initiatives to support the club and the community. So, over to you, mate. Enlighten us.
Yeah, well, what we did a couple of years ago, the West End Opens always had a programme that went with it. And I noticed there's a lot of sponsors in the programme. And we sort of had a chat while we charged them to advertise. And could we sort of take that a bit further? Because we were planning to remove a hedge and put a fence up, which would be an ideal canvas for boards. Yeah. So rather than the hedge costing us £1,000 a year to maintain, I thought, well, if you get a fence up and some sponsors, we can make a couple of grand out of it instead. And we just built on that, really. What we sort of started with is firms that are connected to the club. So they know us, they are friends, possibly players, possibly sons, daughters, firms. And we just built it up from there, really. We offered quite a competitive package that gave you an advertising board, an advert in our programme, and we try to price it quite fairly. And we got a board supplier with a metal sheeted board that's laser printed, which will last forever. And then it's just a case of every year collecting the revenue once a year, putting a sponsors pack out, and with that, then they can offset it against their tax. And what we do then is make them sort of honorary sort of members, try and encourage them to use the club, try and encourage our members to use their services. And basically, it's grown from sort of nothing to sort of getting 4 or 5, 6 grand a year, which we can use then solely to put back into the club to improve facilities. And, we spent a lot of money last couple of years on audio visual equipment, which again brings people in for international games and so on. We've improved, the storage in the club, the seats, the kitchen, the toilets. We've used that money to really put back in and improve it for everybody, which is brilliant.
Oh, fantastic.
Only the green to improve now, isn't
it? Plays all right for me.
So when you're saying about you're offering services for businesses there, so they're going to say, what's in it for us, basically, and so you turn around and say, you can come on.
Well, it's good, because again, hopefully a lot of the business do have a little bit of a connection to the club. So, International Day, we've got a sponsors group. I'll say, we're having the game on, pie and chips, a Duke box after. Do you want to come? Bring your works colleagues. Same at Christmas time, Christmas do. If there's a show there, we'll invite them. So it's and you never know, they might even start playing.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. As soon as they walk through your door and they're all interested, you never know, do you? We got some images of the club as well, Staff. Talk us through that one.
Yeah, stay at home, stay safe.
Yeah.
That's the message there. We got our Just Giving as well. We'll come on to that later.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I
encourage you all to stay at home and stay off the green. You're not allowed to play.
Absolutely. When I first saw that, I thought just
what an Adonis.
Porn fetish or something. I don't know, with all the muck all over your chest. Well, there you are. Right. Okay. So
nice couple of weeks weather.
Here's an example of the advertising around your club then, staff. Looks neat, it looks tidy, it's not an eyesore.
Yeah, glad you got my board on there as well.
Yeah, there you are, mate. It's there forever now, YouTube. So
we've had to sort of make them because we needed more space, which is brilliant.
Yeah, no, utilises them between the benches, and there's that fence you're on about the start of your show. Then.
Yeah, that's what started it off, really. And also as well, since we took the hedge down, then we found an extra bit of area which we call Sponsors Corner, which we put all the posh seats in, which is a tap, so that's nice as well.
That's and do they have a reduction on beer staff or no? It's just you can come and use the club for free, is that right?
Well, what we've done last couple of years, on the opening of the green, we do invite all the sponsors. So we've sort of tied up with opening the green as a sponsors day. And we buy them a couple of pints each and complimentary buffet, and have a little chat to them just to sort of smooth them a bit and make them feel special. And as I say, we just invite them to everything we do. We invite the sponsors, whether it's gin fests or shows, international days, whatever we can invite them to, we will.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's an example of your club thriving and full to the brim. Just to touch on a sponsorship, but you don't have to give me figures over here, staff, but have you got like a base minimum and a certain amount of what they can do, and then obviously a main club sponsor, or do you kind of move it around a bit?
No, we move it around a bit, to be honest. What we've got is, depending on any advertising boards we've got a pricing structure that sort of the more boards you have, the more expensive it is. But, it's not a lot. We charge 125 for one board, 200 for two boards per year, which is not breaking the bank, not asking for too much. Because what I want with it, I don't want 1 year hits. I want consistency in these films to be with us for 5, 10, 15 years,
So you offer them, sorry, staff, you offer them a 3-year deal then, do you? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, it's a 1 year rolling deal.
Rolling deal.
I write to them just before Christmas time to say you'll be coming around, and they all pay up. And they technically buy the board and they own the board. So if ever they did decide to go, we give them the board back.
Right. So you don't even have to fork out on making the board yourself either?
No.
Perfect. That's even better. Yeah. So there's your gin night you were on about earlier?
Yeah, the boys worked extremely hard, Richie and the boys, for that. We've had 2 gin festivals so far. We were supposed to be having one Friday, unfortunately, Gin Fest 3, which has been postponed. But tremendous nights to the club, taking sort of 2 or 3, almost $3.5 grand, which is phenomenal, really.
Yeah, it's another great idea to get everyone together and spending money over your bar. And this next one probably originated from Australia, mate, was it? Barefoot Bowls. Yeah,
that's our Pro-Am Day. We do that once a year. Paul Thomas Costi is in charge of that. A little bit of a bouncing ball there going down. Nice from Julie. Again, it's been fantastic for us to attract new players. And again, the bar, 2.5 grand. Everybody's having a nice few drinks from 12 o'clock till 11 o'clock in the night. Barbecue going on, and good team effort with everybody sort of making it work, really.
Like you said, there's a lot of work that goes into it, but you'll reap the rewards. I mean, it's such an easy day to get people bowling and spending money over your bar. And the next one then, this is your centenary tour, I believe.
Yeah, we had a great centenary year. We went up to Scotland. The top photo there is with Edinburgh West End, our twin club.
That's right.
And the other photos with Graham Lang's hometown club, Glengowan, and 2 brilliant welcomes and a fantastic tour. Well organised by the boys again. Fair play. Good team effort.
Yeah, you had a good couple of years. You PG1 champions, and then you celebrate your centenary. So fantastic.
Yeah, we had a brilliant year, and many thanks to everyone who sort of helped us, and thanks to a lot of clubs, Harlequins, for instance, and a few others give us lovely gifts. So thank you very much for those on behalf of the directors. And it was a good year. We could look back on more fondly, because I don't think we may not be playing this year. So. Yeah, lots of good memories.
Perfect. And not only do you sort of look after the community, you do a lot for charity. And this coming up is your next fundraiser.
Yeah, we thought, what could we do? Because some of the clubs will be able to give stock away, like the Guest did it, and I think Penlan. We've seen RTB's video, which is brilliant. The ladies done a video, and there was another team who done one. I can't remember who they were, but that was really good as well. So. I was supposed to do a half marathon, so I originally was going to do a half marathon around the green and raise money, but then I thought, well, we can make it a bit of a team effort and get some of the boys involved, get a few lap counters, still do the social distancing, and give the boys something to focus on, the members something to focus on for a couple of weeks while we're not playing.
I think it's a fantastic idea, mate, and obviously it goes to say it's such a worthy cause. But well done to all the people there who put their names forward for, what is it, an hour? Is it an hour slot they got, staff?
Our slot, with social distancing. And if you go onto our Facebook page, you'll see all the links for the Just Giving, and any amount is greatly appreciated. Is for the Cwmtaf NHS. So we're trying to raise as much as we can.
Absolutely.
About 1,800, I think, at the moment.
Good to see Phil Westcott back on the green there, even if it is only as a marker. Great guy, Phil.
Yeah, Phil. Well, again, I think, again, we know in this unprecedented time, as I say, we never use the word unprecedented so much. Our sort of key workers have been fantastic, whether it's the NHS, shop workers, and we all have needed them. Phil, a lot of us have needed it. The NHS help for the last couple of years. Like I've had type 2 diabetes, and they've helped me fantastically to beat that. So it's just giving a bit back and say thank you, really, if we can. And it's also great.
Brilliant.
It's also great to see 3 generations of the Minette family get involved as well. So
well, the fittest one, Bampa, the oldest one, he's not doing it because he's over sort of 70. But fantastic. Yeah. And young Elijah is coming on leaps and bounds. He's going to be a special talent if he stays at it. He won out novice last year, and he's sort of forced his way into PG2, and he won't be far off PG1. He's picking up the game, and he's full of beans. He's really coming on great.
That's fantastic. Well, thanks very much for that, staff. Some brilliant ideas that hopefully clubs can have a look at least over the next, if we do get a season, or especially at the start of next year. Nicky, over to you, mate. Now, we all know why your bar is full week in, week out, mate. But we'll talk about your barmaid recruitment policy later on. But in all fairness, you are making such an effort to build on your clubs involved in the community, mate. Yeah. And you kind of go down the youth development programs as well as your social evenings. So the floor is yours, mate.
Yeah, talking about youth development is something that sort of we did very well, 15 years ago with. We had a group coming through together. Mark Thomas came through, Reese Pugh, myself, if you can put me in that bracket. But it's something that's sort of fallen by the wayside over the years. It takes a lot of effort and time, and it's something we're looking to get back into. So we've got a development officer in the club, putting together the logistics really of going into schools and playing balls like what Jamie in Abertillery has done, and Josh in Kidwelly. They're the sort of the example to follow in that really, and that's something that we are looking to sort of get involved with and make sort of big strides in really, because without any sort of new players, new influx of youngsters, the game is sort of going to slowly fade away, isn't it? So
yeah, you're right.
We're trying to do, and like I said, obviously COVID has put a stop to that at the minute, but we'll get there, I'm sure.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah. So. Your club is open all year round, is that right? Or
yeah, so we're sort of like a sports bar, really.
Right.
We open sort of 7 days a week. I think we close for 2 days in the winter, just because it's not sort of profitable for us to be open with an empty club. It's not cost effective to do that. And that's where we sort of make our big money, is through the social side of things, through social members.
Glenn's back, eh?
Get staff off. No, through social members and through sort of people using the club, using the facilities. He's obsessed with the screen. He can't let nothing, can he?
What's going on here? Get off, staff.
Live telling his best.
You're infiltrating our show. Get off. You had your go.
Fair play. No, it's where we sort of, it's our bread and butter really, people using the club, and like you saw with the West End Pro-Am barefoot bowls on a Sunday, with the weather like it has been, I can guarantee you it would have been a full club, and people would have been on the green having to try it at the game, and what men are like after a couple of drinks, this competitive edge comes out, and it's, everyone wants to have a go then.
Yeah, so there you can see your club full again. That's just ka-ching to the till, really. But this is the next slide that I'm interested in, mate. How you extended the club look.
Yeah, so that's our sort of gazebo, really, canopy, or whatever you want to call it. Unfortunately, Storm Dennis sort of got rid of that for us. But yeah, I think that was our sponsors day. So like staff said, they sort of put a day on for their sponsors and stuff like that. We are very similar in that respect. We put some functions on for the sponsors just to sort of say thank you. We've got our sponsors who put a lot of time and effort into the club. Our main sponsor, he's on the committee, he's a trustee of the club. So we like to sort of give a bit back to them, really. They invest a lot of time and money in supporting us. So it's only right we can give them something to say thank you.
And do they support your club on international days then? I suppose they're all there every Saturday, then they during the autumn internationals and the Six Nations and.
It's always full, to be fair. I mean, we put on sort of curry and rice at sort of half time, and it's always full, to be fair. We're lucky in that respect. We're sort of a hidden gem, really, in that we are off the beaten track. We don't get any trouble in that respect, but it's always full. Word of mouth is sort of how we get our name out there on international days. We get people come in for the first time, and it's like, I've never seen this place. This is brilliant, and obviously it helps if you've got the right bar staff in as well.
No.
Always helps. Where's have we seen the picture of her yet? Or?
No, not for sure.
I promise not to. It'll be on later.
I've never seen her in person. Get it? I like a Valley Girl.
Oh,
there's always plenty of names down when West End play Xtra away. Never short, are we?
We put 4 sheets out there, Baylan. Right. And now, am I right in saying you hire the club out as well? Do you, Nick? Is that weddings?
So I think that's a wedding that we had, or a wedding party, or christening party that we had at the club. There's always something going on, with funeral not parties, but wakes and that sort of thing. We sort of, unfortunately, quite busy with that sort of thing. But we put on the club for people to use it. The facilities for people, and people enjoy it. People come there. We've got a regular trade. I mean, there's a club across the road that play. Their pensioners come over and use our club for food, even though there's a pub next door. But they come over and they use our club, and we're happy to do that because it's more cash over the bar, I suppose, isn't it?
Of course, yeah. And your bar prices are very reasonable, aren't they?
Yeah, I think we're about £3 a pint, which is about the going rate. I don't know what prices are these days. I don't drink enough to sort of get an idea of it, but the alcoholics tell me that £3 is a good price. So
that's right. Yeah, it's just pretty box standard. Yeah. And
do you find? Sorry, just a quick question. Do you find it's easier to attract people at both of yours clubs? Like we've tried holding similar things in Barry Athletic, but do you find there's a better sense of community spirit in the valleys where you can entice people to come and try a new sport or give it a try?
I mean, with us, we tried a pro-am and it was a disaster, really. I think we had 2 people turn up and it wasn't really well supported. But I mean, the social side of things for us, because everyone knows everyone, that community spirit and our sense of community is there. So we've picked up probably 10 to 12 players in the last 10 years, brand new bowlers who come to the club, have a drink, and can I have a go, that type of thing. And what it's like when you start, you've got the bug then, haven't you? But it's a shame, really, because I think we were due to have 4 or 5 new ones again this year. But obviously at the minute with COVID, it's not happening. But yeah, I think with us, obviously we've got good footfall in the club as it is, and that sort of community aspect of it that does help.
And the most important part of this is you need willing volunteers, really, don't you? It does start off with the members who do care the most. But I'm sure all clubs got those, and it's just if anyone who doesn't get involved, just try and help out, and then you might see some rewards over your bar and in your finances.
Yeah, it's got to be a big team effort, really, and we've been lucky. West End last year, we got some tremendous directors who work hard, and fair play to members that come on board and they working hard as well. Even we've had cleaning up the green this last week, social distancing, 2 or 3 of us, taking an hour or so, and it's been brilliant. It's looking quite nice up there now. It was a bit raggedy a few weeks ago with all the growth and all the weather, but And as I say, same as Nicky, we are lucky. We get a lot of events in, and John is a fantastic caterer for us. Does a lot of work there, and people come in, see us playing, then, and can we have a go? Can we, and hopefully it'll grow from there. Yeah. Plus, I think with both of us as well, the social media, which we'll come on to later, that helps push the club out there a bit further as well.
Yeah, we'll move on to social media now, Staff, if you want. You're a massive user of that, and and Nicky does, and Xtra can do pump a lot of information out there. How important is social media, Staff?
I think it's, in this day and age, it's massive. It's free advertising, which is the best thing. And again, I advise any club now, if they, because you've got a bit of time, now is the time to do it. Facebook, I find, is the best usually, because you can sort of promote club events, and if you can get the members, when they remember to like it and share it, it pushes it out even further. And fair play, even some of our older members, they're jumping on board and they're hitting the right buttons at the right time. And yeah, and it's great. And Twitter, not so bad. And Instagram is more photos, but again, it's all promoting the club and your facility.
Oh, excellent. How about you, Nick?
Sorry, Chris. Yeah, I think obviously social media is massive nowadays. In promoting a club, like you said, whilst club have time, it's important. Just create a social media profile for your club. Just put, when your fixtures out, just anything that could encourage people to come along. It only takes one share for someone to see it on a friend of a friend's page who thinks, oh, that looks interesting. I'm not doing anything. Why not go and have a watch and see where it takes you?
Mm. Yeah, and even at the bottom end of social media, I've been doing, as you know, Chris, a little bit of a bit of research in where the situation of the greens are across Wales, and I'm using Google Maps, and I'm amazed how many clubs haven't even got a website. There's so many free tools out there at the moment. They will be the best, but it'll work out. And as soon as you go into Google and the Google search, you got your digital footprint, and you're on the run then. So I was just staggered how many haven't got a website. Just bare minimum.
Yeah, I sort of do feel, though, that websites are a bit, in terms of for clubs now, it does all seem to be coming from Facebook and Twitter. Like I support Fulham in football, but I couldn't tell you last time I went on their website. But, I always see their profile on Twitter and Facebook. But like you said, you need that digital input, to move yourself forward.
Yeah, well, we all know these times are hard for clubs at the moment, but I suppose it could be also viewed as a fresh start after this pandemic. Staff, Nicky, you've given us fantastic insight on how your club can thrive in the future with some brilliant ideas, initiatives and sponsored opportunities. And like I said before, I know it's hard work, but you will see the rewards over the years to come if you put that little bit of hard work in for your own club. And just one note.
Anybody needs any help on that in the future, me and Nicky are contactable anytime through Messenger or whatever. We're always happy to help any other clubs. If we can improve your club and the game, we will.
That's very kind of you. Yeah, top man, very kind of you. Thanks, lads. And just finishing on the helping the clubs. Now, Sport Wales and the Welsh Government have put together a £400,000 pot. So it may be worth looking into this. And Nicky will jump in a minute. If you need help with facility or equipment costs, utility costs, rent costs, insurances, flood damages after the last storm, like I said, Sport Wales and Welsh Government have released £400,000, but clubs can apply for up to £5,000. So if you are likely to need immediate financial support over the next few weeks, and that's up to the 30th of June, then get on there and get your application in as soon as possible, because it is, once that money's gone, it's gone. So visit the Sport Wales website and click on the Emergency Relief Fund. And then it's basically straightforward to follow. Nick, you've applied, is that right?
Yeah, so with sort of up in the valley where we are, Storm Dennis, it sort of hit the local area quite hard. So, I mean, we, as a club, we suffered sort of 2 damaged roofs. Our sort of gazebo that we showed earlier, that's sort of disintegrated, that's gone, that's damaged. We can't sort of get that back. And obviously following on from the storm, then we've had COVID. So we've lost, possibly in the last month or two, the best part of £15,000 worth of revenue. So, we've got to look for some support from somewhere. The local authorities grant has helped. But you need to sort of scramble in all money you can get. So yeah, I put in for two grants. There's the £1,500 community chest grant that we put in for, and the emergency relief. Because the repairs that need to happen in the club are going to cost a bit of money, and our bank balance will only go so far, I'm afraid.
That's right. And I think if you are successful, I have read that you will get at least £300 if you are successul, no matter what your application is. So it's better than nothing.
I suppose, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
Oh, it's worth, the application forms for Sport Wales tend to be fairly straightforward as well.
Yeah.
They're not very time consuming, so it could help a lot of clubs. I just want to say on the back of of very insightful what Nicky and Ian talked about, what their club does. Us four are very fortunate to be parts of clubs with very good facilities. There's a lot of clubs out there who've got very basic facilities. I think the main driving force for them needs to be sponsorship, because a lot of companies, all you need to do is just ask, because most of those companies just write it off in terms of tax. It's actually straightforward. We at Barry Athletic, we were struggling a few years ago, very, very struggling. And we had a lot of members come in and actually pay money out with their own pocket to keep the club surviving. But actually, we then said, well, look, as a committee, we need to go out there, try and get sponsors. And literally all we did was ask. And we were able to bring in over £3,000 just by asking. It wasn't hard work at all.
I mean, what I've seen as well on social media, you might have seen the sort of the RTV boys had a scratch card. Everyone paying £2 a man. Now, I've seen that locally with sort of football teams, the younger age groups, people going out. So if a business can't give you £500, to sponsor you, or a couple of £100 here and there, you could sell teams for £20. I know my brother sort of coaches a football team. And what he did, he was sold football teams for £20 to a load of local businesses, and the winning business sort of went on the shirt, and that sort of £800 paid for their kit. So you haven't necessarily got to find one company to give you a couple of £100, or like West End, lots of companies who are happy to support you with £125, £200, whatever it is. You can go about and just ask for £20, £30, because a lot of businesses could probably do that.
That's a great idea.
Plenty of ways. You're right.
That's a great idea. All right, guys, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show and sharing all that with us. I hope other clubs do take that on board and then at least trying something. I mean, I hate seeing clubs go to the wall. I've been part of one of them, which was more or less my life. But don't let it go to the wall, and try and take these guys' ideas on board and give it a whirl. Right, that's enough of the serious stuff. Let's move on to a little bit of fun now. And we're going to introduce, right, you always wanted a quiz, right? So we're going to introduce a quiz called Righties 90s. Over to you, mate.
Is it bingo?
No.
Yeah, no, it's not bingo. I haven't got Chelsea involved. Sorry to disappoint people. Because she's up there with Xtra Beckman's mate, so sorry about that. On the border. I haven't seen her in person. I'll rate her different. Right, so so basically, I thought it's boring talking about balls for the full hour, as much as I love it. I thought let's throw in a quiz, but it is a bit balls related. So we're going to have a little bit of a game of social distancing singles. 90 seconds on the clock. Staff, as the older person, you go first. There's 10 only just. There's 10 questions each. If you reach 10 questions by the end of the 90, then we'll just stop. Whoever gets the most in the 90 seconds will be the winner. Okay?
Okay, you ready?
Okay, are we ready? Staff, are you ready?
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Okay, and I have to accept your first answer, okay?
Okay.
Go.
Okay, Mark, you start the clock when I ask my first, when I've started my first question, okay?
Yeah.
Right, let's go. Question 1. What is the minimum length a ball has to be in meters to be counted as a live ball?
25 meters?
No, 30 meters. Which body organ produces insulin?
Oh. Pancreas?
Yeah, pancreas. As a diabetic, you should know that. Question 3. Which club won the 2018 Crow's Shield?
2018?
Yeah.
Harlequins?
No, it was Penlan. How many internationals tries did Shane Williams score for Wales?
Oh, loads.
Yeah, good answer. Is it Is it 56, 58, 60, or 62?
I say 56.
It's 58. Which club did Graham Lang play for previously before joining Merthyr West End?
Oh, they built a supermarket on it. Ooh, Penn Hill.
It is Penn Hill.
Well
Congrats.
played.
Mandarins were public officials of which country?
Do you say Mandarin?
Mandarins were... China's correct.
China.
Yeah. Robin Burden plays for which Carmarthenshire Bowls club? Is it Bryn Everett, Parkerdray, Ammanford Park, or Kidwelly?
Parkerdray.
No, it's Bryn Everett. Question 8. How many sides does a hexagon have?
5.
Nope, 6. Which TV soap first aired on 19th of February 1985?
EastEnders.
Time's up.
Correct. Oh, so you had 4 correct answers.
It's good.
So Nicky, 4's to beat, okay?
Pressure.
Yeah. Are you ready?
As I'll ever be.
What's it going to be?
Yeah.
4.
He's got to beat 4,
Okay.
to make it through to the grand final when that is. Okay. Question 1. In which season did Mark Thomas last reach a Crowther Shield finals?
Say that again.
In which season did Mark Thomas last reach a Crowther Shield quarterfinals?
Oh, he played for you lot. 2012?
2016. Reginald DeWhite is the real name of which singer?
Elton John.
Yeah, correct. What is the name of this podcast new sponsor?
Absolute Grass Kit.
Absolutely correct. In which season did Manchester United last win the Premier League?
Manchester who?
Manchester United last win the Premier League.
2015? No, that was Leicester. 2014?
2013. In which position did Xtra finish in last season's PG1?
Fourth.
Fourth, correct. Which film won the 2019 Best Picture Oscar?
Oh, we watched
2020, sorry, 2020.
Oh, it was the South Korean one. Oh, shit.
I need the name.
Sorry, pass.
Parasite. Mark Lackman played third to which player in the last 2 international series?
Damien Doublet.
Yeah, they didn't win many. Which spirit would you find in a Manhattan cocktail?
Whiskey.
Yeah, correct. Which player won the 2020 Welsh singles?
Oh, man.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
5 seconds.
Just
6
guess.
seconds.
Kevin James.
No, Jason Greensley. Nairobi is the capital of which African country?
Egypt. No, it's Kenya.
No, it's Kenya. Nicky, you scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. You scored 5. You won by 1. Congratulations.
Oh,
Well
well
done,
Nicky.
mate.
Game.
We're hopefully going to get some mugs done as well. You're going to have one of them for winning. How's that, mate?
Yeah.
That was pressure.
Well done, buddy.
Oh, I won a bad quiz. Well done, Chris. Loving your
Yeah, mate.
work. Well done.
Mix
Breaks
it
up
up.
the show, doesn't it? Right, now then, more
Exactly.
importantly now, the highlight of the season so far is the Virtual Carruthers 2020. Yeah, so
Oh,
we,
we got to
and well
look
done to
forward
everyone. Well done to everyone on Facebook for voting. Thank you very much. You've done really well, and you looked well. There were no upsets, so you all went. You all were on the right teams. So we now have Chris drew these earlier today, didn't you, mate?
Yeah, earlier today, me and Chelsea, we drew them out of a hat.
And Chelsea, can she confirm it was all done above board?
Yeah, if you need to speak to her, just message her.
Okay.
Only message her about bowls, though.
All right, yeah, no worries. So here it is. Here it is, the second round draw. Okay, Kidwelly Porthcawl should be a home win. Llanbraddock, Merthyr West End. What do you reckon, lads?
Very good pork pies in Llanbraddock.
I don't know. They don't travel well, Merthyr West End, I'll be honest.
No, we haven't got fast down the hill, so I don't.
Powerful team.
Good game.
I could see Merthyr winning that. Pont
Yeah.
Reader Ven Temby, champions away to Pont Reader Ven, multiple winners.
Yeah. Not easy going there, Pontra event, to be fair, though.
Nope, that's a tough one, huh?
Pontypridd home win.
Oof.
I call it.
Oh.
Only because Temby cancelled the Gold Cup and I got to cancel my hotel, so.
McCunther Choideroo.
McCuntler home win.
Yeah.
The Merthyr boys will come through there.
This is the Sky Sports Super Sunday match. This is Bargoed, Gilvac, Bargoed. Massive rivalry. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's on a Super Sunday with the Prosser Derby, number 11.
Score draw.
That's the lunchtime kickoff. Well, we got Penarol Barry Athletic. It's such a shocking green Penarol, but Barry Athletic should be enough over there.
Hopefully.
Harlequin, Brian Ronda the skewing. Brian Ronda, Harlequins Mackin. That's a home win, surely.
Yeah, home win easy.
Cardigan Aberam's quite interesting.
Yeah, I'd probably go for home advantage here again.
Yeah, Saunders for Beaufort. I think Beaufort will get through there.
Yeah.
What did you say? The Mike Prosser Derby. Ely Valley did his prowess. Hey, that's got history, that fixture before, isn't it?
Yeah, well, will it get played? You know, well, it won't because it's on computer, but you know.
yeah. We don't introduce any rules here. I don't know.
Yeah. Minus 10 votes, whatever their total is, Dennis.
Ystrevec and Brynhyfryd. Ystrevec will win that.
Yeah.
Ryer Romilly, Welshpool, not a clue.
Well, Welshpool probably tend to drop out when they're drawn away in the Crivers, so I'll go for Barry Romilly.
Fair enough then. Say Fagans,
Long
Ferndale.
journey from Welshpool.
I go for Ferndale.
Ferndale, yeah.
RTB, Ebervale, Thomastown. That'll be feisty, but I think RTB will have enough for Thomastown, but they'll give it a go, Thomastown.
Yeah.
Good bunch of boys.
Yeah.
And finally, Prestine versus the mighty Payland. Away win all day long.
Home win.
Well, I don't know. The wheels could come off.
The wheelie comes
off. Exactly. No, there you are. Gents, thanks ever so much for another lovely show. Another great show. Your insight into your clubs is fantastic, like I said before. And I think, I got one more thing to end. It's the Poker Stars tournament that's been advertised on Facebook. Are you aware of that, Chris?
Yeah, this Saturday. This Saturday night, Christian Crocker's put it together. He's not as dull as he usually comes across. He's put all the details on Facebook. If you want to message him or message me, I can give you the details. I haven't got a clue how to play poker myself, but there you go. You got it all on a slideshow.
All up there, mate. All up there. Like Poker Stars, Welsh Bowlers and Friends Poker Night, Sunday the 3rd of May at 7 o'clock. Not Saturday, Chris. Nice one. £5.50 entries, and that's 5,000 starting chips. Late registration ends at 7:10, so don't be late. First of all, you've got to download the PokerStyle software, create your account and deposit some funds. And then once you're inside PokerStyle software, you're into the lobby, click on more, then click on home games, then join a poker club. Your club ID is 3552067 and the password is Sunday at 7, all lowercase. But the message is from Crocker Royale, is please enroll before Sunday. So if there's any teething problems, he can sort it out. And unfortunately, this software will only work on computers or laptops, not on mobiles or tablets.
Yeah, and the Xtra End podcast does not condone gambling, but if you want to get involved, enjoy.
Absolutely. Gents, thanks ever so much for another good show. Next week, still to be decided, I guess, next week, but I think we'll have a younger element next week. We'll talk about youth and probably the pitfalls of what young players have experienced, maybe. And have you got someone lined up, Chris? I'm not sure.
Yeah. So next week we've got Liam Bouse on the show.
Right. Okay.
Started off as a really youthful. Well, I think as a 10-year-old, I think I first played against him. His lone youth. Obviously he's had his fair shares of up and downs, but he's now a father, more responsible. But he does want to come on and just talk about and give advice to the younger generation. Excellent.
Okay, that's our next week's show. Thanks again, lads. I've got to go now because my washing machine's kicking off. You could probably hear a whirring sound. Can you? I'm not sure. Thanks again, and see you next week. Cheers, all.
Yeah, take care, everyone.
Cheers, boys.